made more sense if you'd made the dummies then left Bree immediately. So you actually gained something from the time in which you'd fooled them.
Sorry I've not made it to any of the viewings so far, Gandalf. I've just been rushed off my feet running Gondor.
Oh, don't worry about it. You must be a busy man. I just thought you'd like to join us today because we've just got to Bree.
Bree? Was I in Bree?
That's when the hobbits met you.
Oh, God, of course. Bree. Sorry. Things are so crazy. My memory's shot to pieces.
You know, so when you say you're busy, you got a lot of industry attention since the films came out?
Well, yes, of course, there's that, but also the day-to-day responsibilities of running a kingdom, you know. Taxes, domestic policy, foreign policy. The list goes on.
Make sure you're taking regular breaks, Aragorn. Well, my dad ran Gondor for years and, well, he went completely nuts.
It's a lot of responsibility.
Just don't set yourself on fire and jump off a cliff, yeah?
I'm trying my best.
Our business is our own.
I guess good that he didn't splurge the business, but could at least make something up.
We did. We're on an all-inclusive at the inn.
Ah, there he is, PJ, the maestro himself.
I can't believe he had reverse camera on for that shot.
Huh? Did he?
Yeah, he was never meant to be in it. He was trying to get a cool tracking shot of the hobbits walking through Bree, but he accidentally pointed the camera the wrong way while he was scoffing that carrot.
Calls himself a filmmaker.
Good evening.
He was a good chap, that Barlaam Butterbur. We were all a bit discombobulated when we got to Bree, but he made us feel right at home.
What's his name? Barlaam and Butterbur.
Uh-huh.
No, I know it's fantasy, but that's not a name.
Sounds like an old sweet your grandfather would give you.
Yeah, don't tell Mum and Dad, but you've been so good. You get a Barlaam and Butterbur.
Underhill. My name's Underhill.
Finally. Been telling him to do that for ages.
Yeah, Baggins is a shite name. Should get rid of Frodo as well.
What?
Don't care what you change it to. Just anything that doesn't sound like he's been named after an ice cream.
Oh, I could go for a Walls Frodo right now, to be fair.
We're friends of Gandalf the Grey. Can you tell him we've arrived?
Gandalf? Yes, I remember. Elderly chap. Big grey beard, pointy.
Oh my God.
What's the matter, Gandalf?
Well, I've always wondered what people say about me when I'm not in the room. I always wanted to get insight into what other people perceive me as.
Oh, you came off pretty well. That's what I
Elderly
thought.
chap with a beard and a hat. Is that it? Is that all I am to these people?
I didn't say anything bad, at least.
Yeah, they also didn't mention my great sense of humour or my charity work.
Oh, and how good a mates were you really with Barlaam and Butterbur? People think about you way less than you think they do. Most of the time, they're only thinking about themselves or an all-powerful ring.
Yeah.
This, my friend, is a pint.
It comes in pints? I can get you one.
Best joke in the whole story.
It's excellent.
Got nothing to say to make fun of it.
It's just a quality gag.
That fellow's done nothing but stare at you since we arrived.
Bit creepy. Aragorn.
You think you could have just gone over and introduced yourself, considering you were specifically waiting for them.
Just wanted to freak them out for a bit. Didn't want them to get too comfortable.
Do you do it to women as well, Aragorn?
Not sure. You never really see women in Middle-earth. It's quite an unusual occurrence. So I'm not sure what I would have done if there had been one.
Well, maybe just don't stare at people, as a general rule.
Oh, I do all right with women.
What do you mean by that?
I've never heard, but round here, he's known as Strider.
One of the nicer names people had for me in my rangering days.
Now, what were the others?
Oh, Stinky Pete, Mr. Creeps, Tinchy Strider, Old Nutsack. Never really understood that last one.
Well, people really can be cruel.
Baggins? Sure I know a Baggins. He's over there.
Oh, okay, look. For as long as we're watching this, can we just keep a tally of every time that Bellend does something colossally stupid that endangers everyone's lives? And then at the end we can have a discussion as to whether or not I was too harsh on him.
We're on 1-0 so far.
True if you count the pre-release of the firework.
Steady on.
Maybe you should have just gone straight over there and said hello when you got there. Senor Creep.
Thought it'd be best to wait until they did something really stupid. It was only a matter of time.
How did they film this bit?
I think Peter Jackson faked all these scenes in a green screen studio after the main shoot.
Oh, really? Huh.
Yeah, because obviously he couldn't transport the camera crew into the twilight world of the ring. So they had to kind of do a bit of guesswork based on what Mr. Frodo said it was like.
Did they get it about right?
Frodo said he was actually surprised just how inaccurate it was. Right, apparently, when you put the ring on, you actually go to a place that looks exactly like Rainbow Road from Mario Kart.
Gosh, sounds dreamy.
You draw far too much attention to yourself, Mr. Underhill.
Interesting that you chose to disguise your accent while in your Strider persona, Aragorn.
I did not disguise my accent.
Didn't you?
No, that's just me doing my accent.
Okay, how many accents do you have?
It becomes difficult to keep track after a while.
Noted.
What do you want?
A little more caution from you. That is the
Wow.
trinket you carry.
I look so different on screen.
They say the camera adds about 10 years.
And it gives you an entirely different face shape. So weird.
Well, you know how it is. There's got to be a limit somewhere to how many new deepfakes you can create, and a limit to how many impressions one person can do.
What?
What?
I can avoid being seen.
What are your usual tricks for avoiding being seen?
I'm not at liberty to divulge the secrets I learned in my time as a ranger.
Ouch.
Maybe he got lucky and the gate landed so that he fit exactly into the spy hole unharmed, like Buster Keaton.
Fingers crossed.
What's he doing? He's sleeping in the bar.
In the doghouse, perhaps.
Had a big row with Mrs. Butterbur. Hang on. Why did they attack that room?
That was the room the hobbits were supposed to be staying.
But how did they know that? Did they go up to Butterbur and just say, "Hello, sorry to bother you. I wondered if you know which room was booked by the Baggins party."
Guys, I'm pretty sure the essence of evil emitted by the ring, which we are directly attuned to and have been tracking this whole time, is coming from room 70.
Don't be silly. The landlord said they were in room 16. Are you accusing him of being a liar?
Oh, I'm sorry. That wasn't very nice of me.
Just because we're ringers doesn't mean we can't be nice.
What are they?
You stayed in the same building.
Yeah, it was an ingenious plan that worked perfectly. We fooled the Nazgul by putting dummies in the hobbits' beds. And then we stayed in an adjacent room.
Wouldn't it have made more sense if you'd made the dummies then left Bree immediately? So you actually gained something from the time in which you'd fooled them.
I never thought of that.
Because now the head start you have on them is, what, about 10 feet?
It's not nothing.
Gave to them 9 rings of power. Blinded by their greed, they took them without
Okay.
question.
Can you guys give it a rest with the slagging off the kings of men? We get it. We're weak and greedy. None of you ever bothered to talk about the positives.
Such as?
My granddad was actually an excellent woodworker. He made me a great little bagatelle set when he was a nipper.
It's what you want me to say. Blinded by their greed, but comforted by the lovely bagatelle sets their granddad made them, they took them without question.
Can you hear how much better that sounds? Softens it.
I think it sounds silly.
I think it sounds much better.
They are the Nazgul, ring wraiths. Neither.
Tolkien never called them ring wraiths in his essays.
Popped into my head. Sounds way cooler than Nazgul.
Wonder if the Nazgul are related to seagulls.
They're just drawn to chips.
Oh no!
I think a servant of the enemy would look fairer. Feel fun.
Just rude.
I think it's meant to be a compliment.
I'd spend months in the wild at a time, protecting the borders of their homeland. Sorry if I mean, lots of women fancied me. And elves.
Okay, now that's definitely directed at me.
Yeah, but you're a rightful king.
Even then.
Hobbits don't actually know what goes into protecting their little paradise.
Rivendell, Master Gamgee. The House of Elrond.
Could have called ahead.
What about breakfast?
We've already had it.
We've had one, yes. What about second breakfast?
Not sure how to score that one.
He's not done anything there that's actively making him a liability or putting anyone at risk.
No, but he's been annoying. His little face is just... Score 2.5 to
It's any
none.
wonder Hobbit's aren't as fat as a house. I don't see any gyms in the Shire.
What about elevensies? Luncheon, afternoon tea, dinner, supper?
I'm sorry, what's Pippin's job?
What do you mean?
I mean, this guy schedules so many meals, I'm genuinely having trouble working out at what point in the day he does any work.
They're all Nepo babies, my Lord Elrond. Not one of them has done a day's work in their life.
Excuse me?
Yeah, present company excluded, of course.
I can't figure out how he'd have time to do anything between these meals. I mean, when does he poo?
I don't think we're really supposed to think about when the characters poo, Elrond. That apple has a sticker on it.
Yeah, PJ gave us a bunch of store-bought. I mean, what kind of neckbeard watches these films so closely as to be able to realize that an apple has a sticker on it?
Yeah, people like Charlie.
Call me a neckbeard.
It isn't a neck beard. It's a beard that goes down past my neck, but it grows from the chin. It's not sprouting out of my neck, is it?
The power of Isengard is at your command, Sauron.
This guy gets right to the point with his conference call.
Yeah, my conference calls usually start with about 10 minutes of small talk before we get into the business stuff.
I don't have a premium Palantir account, so I can't faff about. You have any idea how embarrassing it is when you get booted out of the meeting just as the Dark Lord was going to tell you to build an army worthy of Mordor, and you have to set up a brand new Palantir meeting link? Army worthy of what? Mormons.
Orders from Mordor, my lord. What does the Eye command?
So, at this point, you hadn't grown any of your own orcs, right?
No, I was just about to begin my orc-growing obsession. A very embarrassing phase.
So where did that orc come from?
Work experience orc on an exchange program from Mordor.
You couldn't find a single human willing to do your bidding at this point.
I sent my only human friend to Rohan, so all I had left was orcs.
You didn't think maybe that was a sign that what you're up to was not very good? That you couldn't find anybody willing to help you except for a horrible orc?
Oh, still not over Kelly, then, I see.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Who's Kelly?
Gandalf's ex-girlfriend Kelly Stevens was an orc, and he's been horrible about them ever since.
Kelly? Gandalf?
I don't care, and we should all just shut up.
I notice you only gave me a 1-star review on Airbnb.
How does that compare to the other Airbnb reviews you've been getting?
It's fairly typical. Everyone gives 1 star. I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
Has it occurred to you that imprisoning people on the roof of a tall tower open to the elements might not be what people had in mind for their weekend getaway?
It's a cozy studio apartment with a stunning panoramic view of the Gap of Rohan.
You didn't even provide a kettle. And the only way to get to and from the local amenities was to whisper where you wanted to go to a passing mob.
Well, you tried getting a taxi at that time of night.
The trees are strong, my lord.
Rip them all down.
Regret that?
Or what do you think? I feel really silly about it.
Do you know the Athelas plant?
Athelas?
Kingsfoil.
Kingsfoil Arts.
Thanks so much for letting me come round and watch this with you guys. I told everyone I know.
I don't mention it, Glorfindel. I'm delighted to let you watch back your part of the adventure on screen after all this time. It warms my heart.
No, I was only a small part of the quest, but it was my pride.